Hi, this is James It's James the Wine Guide. Today, I want to present this bottle. It is a wine from Domaine Chandon. It's a sparkling red wine, and there's some copy here that's not on the current released bottles of this wine. It says, Chandon marries silky Pinot Noir, 68%, with spicy Zinfandel, 32%, to craft this innovative sparkling wine. That's a curious call out because I think it's just trying to get the consumer understanding what this wine is, because it is a rare wine in the United States. 13% alcohol in this wine. So you generally don't see a blend of Pinot Noir in anything. It's usually 100%. And then to marry that together with Zinfandel is a really curious combination. I've never had a sparkling Zinfandel, though this is not 100% Zinfandel. And why that's in there, I'm not really sure, because Domaine Chandon produces definitely Pinot Noir, or contracts out for Pinot Noir. I guess there was just excessive Zinfandel that came through, and it tended to go well through the tastings, and they finally decided on putting this together and bottling this out. So this is a very curious wine. And in the United States, you have two producers. You have Mum Napa and then Domaine Chandon. So for example, this wine has a limit of 2 bottles per person. I think it's about $28 a bottle at the winery, and I think you can get it online as well if your state accepts direct wine shipments from the winery. Definitely you find in Australia is that there's a huge fan base in Australia for sparkling wines, and that's sparkling Shiraz, and that's no surprise there. You do have producers like Peter Rumball, who's producing a sparkling Merlot, Gala, G-A-L-A-H, which is a producer, Australian producer, doing a Cabernet Sauvignon that's a sparkling wine as well. So you have all these unique experiments with sparkling red wines, and I think there's a time and place for it. And I think what you don't see here is you see a lot of the lines, the bubble lines coming through, and that's because it's a darker wine, so it's really hard to see all of that. And on the top here, obviously, the effervescence coming through. So I'll pour just a little bit so you can see a little bit of this sparkling action going on there. It's really beautiful, 13%, so it's really much higher in alcohol content than most sparkling wines, 13%. And then you marry together that the tannic components make it a heavier wine. So I see a lot of effervescence happening here, which is really surprising. So a sparkling red wine for a lot of Americans is obviously something, either maybe there's something called cold duck, which I think I don't see on the marketplace. I haven't seen it for years. And I think that was one of the things that a lot of people just didn't enjoy and found to be that mark point of a wine that was less than savory, shall we say. And so coming back to red sparkling wine is to find a tradition, and definitely the Australians have been doing this for a very long time, and they really enjoy producing this wine. And from what I understand, this winemaker is from Australia, and that's how this whole thing came about at Domaine Chandon. I think for a lot of people, this requires a lot of getting used to. And sometimes, no matter how much getting used to, just you'll find that there's certain people who won't register into this wine at all. It's not this particular wine, but red sparkling wines in general. Sometimes it's the demarcation of like them or I don't like them. I like them, and I think time and place is definitely important for this wine. I think I would serve this with smoked salmon, smoked turkey, rotisserie chicken. It needs an equal pairing on the food side to complement the wine side. So I give this wine an 8.7 out of my 10.0 scale. For more wine reviews, please go to jamesthewineguy.com. Please subscribe to my videos on YouTube, and please follow me on Twitter, James the Wine Guy, and James the Wine Guy on Facebook. Salud!